Now, and Daniel, because we're streaming live on both pages, on mine and on his as well. So everybody that doesn't know me on Daniel's, I'm an attorney. I do personal injury and real estate law. And the reason why we put this together, it's a different dynamic because people are like, well, what does the attorney have to do with credit repair? That's the first thing that comes up. Well, it's pretty simple. One of the issues is that when people are involved in auto accidents or injured or something to that effect, what happens is there's a period that they may lose their job, they get hospital bills, and because it takes a long time. It takes, from the moment you get involved in an auto accident, it might take a few months or even, depending on the injury, a few years. And so a lot of times, the first thing that happens is you go to, you may go to the hospital, you may go to the clinic, you may lose your job. So what happens if you have no income? Your credit starts being damaged. And so we're going to talk about different ways to prevent how to damage your credit. And I'll talk on my side, and he'll talk about on his side on things to prevent. So I'll let Daniel talk about some prevention, and then I'll talk about how it relates to personal injury.
Right. So I guess when you have an accident and you go to the hospital, you start seeing doctors. The medical bills start to come pretty soon. They don't wait.
They don't wait. No. And neither the creditors either.
Right.
Or your mortgage.
That's right. So sometimes I guess their medical, their health insurance won't cover a bill, or is that, you see that a lot with your clients?
Yeah. So one of the things that we've noticed is that like some of the clients, their medical bills start adding up to be pretty substantial, and then if they lose a job, those bills start adding up as well. One of the things that we suggest if you're involved in an auto accident is there's a few things that we do. The first thing is we ask that person to call their creditors and see if they can work out some sort of payment plan. Now, if they don't have a job, or they lost a job, or whatever the case might be, or they have, even if they didn't lose a job, but they've had to go less hours because of the injury, right? They had to change positions. We ask them if they can please just even work out a payment plan of, even if it's $5 to $10 a month, just something for it won't hit their credit.
Just to keep it current and for it not to be to send to collection, because once you get a medical bill, and usually creditors, once it hit 90 days late, they'll go ahead and send it to collection. So,
and tell me, how hard is it once you start being late, the repetitive lateness, how does that affect the person?
So a late payment on a medical bill or a credit card bill, it can lower your credit score anywhere from 50 to 100 points, just one late payment. Okay. So you definitely want to avoid having any late payments. So like you said, if you can set up some kind of a payment plan with the creditor, that way you avoid for it to be sent to collections. That would be the smart thing to do, because you definitely don't want to have any late payments on your credit report or any collections.
Now, we know how credit affects, most of us know how credit affects us, but whenever someone has a negative credit or something that involves derogatory towards your credit, how does that affect their actual lives?
So,
as far as rates, if they're trying to buy a house, as far as interest rates and things like that. If you could just elaborate more on that. For
any negative account that hits your credit report is gonna lower your credit score. There's no way around that. And when your credit score drops, you're gonna be paying more for interest rates. And you're trying to buy a house, and you're trying to get qualified, a lender, usually they want a 640, 680 and above to get a decent rate. But if you're trying to get qualified with a 580, a 590, the interest rate is going to be higher just because, of your credit score. So, lower credit score is always going to cost you money. It's going to cost you a lot of money. Higher interest rates, the insurance rates
so your auto insurance goes up too. And again, if you're in an auto accident, if it's your fault, the rate's going to go up. But even if it's not your fault, and your credit is dinged because you didn't pay your bills, now in renewal, you're going to have a higher premium regardless, even when it's not your fault. And not because of the accident, because of the late payments.
Right. Most people don't know, but insurance rates are also based on your credit score. So if you have bad credit, guess what? You're going to pay higher insurance premiums. you're gonna pay deposits when you put utility in your home. The TICO is gonna ask you for a deposit on it, for the water, for the cable. That bad credit equals paying more interest rate, more. It's gonna cost you more money.
Well, because you become a high risk,
Right.
And at the same time, even on the settlement side, whenever you have bad credit, like if we have to file a lawsuit for you, they will look at your credit. They'll look at if you're behind. They're looking for reasons to disqualify you, as if you did this for X amount of reasons. For the insurance company's always looking for ways to see if you're scamming them or something to that effect. So even going into litigation, they will look at your credit many times to see if you were having financial troubles and hence you did that. That happens a lot with Hispanic communities. I mean, there's a lot of fraud that happens, but there is issues that come up. One of the other things that we do too is on our side, we do a letter of protection, which that means it's when somebody gets in an auto accident for the medical bills, at least to hold them for a little while, with the exception of hospital bills. Hospital bills, they can care less. Sometimes they really don't care.
You just send it to collection.
Yeah, they're sending collections. Yeah. But most medical doctors, and we got to make sure the medical doctor does work with auto insurance, is they will hold their bill, whatever's not covered by the insurance. They will hold their bill, and then they'll work on a letter of protection from us that saying at the end of the settlement we'll work with them, and of course we'll try to reduce the bill later, but we'll work with them on trying to get them paid back. So that's kind of how it works with during the settlement for medical bills and the hospital bills. And if you can kind of tell me about your experiences with hospital bills, because I mean you've seen people's credit,
right?
And
that's the one most people have, either collection accounts, medical bills, or student loans. Those are the top three that I see, and it's so common. And once they go to collection, it's gonna affect your credit score. So you definitely want to avoid for it to go to collection. So like we said earlier, set up some kind of payment plan, with the creditor. That way it's current till the insurance company goes ahead and pays those bills. But you definitely want to avoid late payments and collection. But if you're not able to, once it goes to collection, there's some things that you can do that we can talk about.
And we're going to discuss that too. So we're talking about what to do before you become late.
Right.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Preventative is the best key.
Right. You want to be proactive.
Yeah, definitely proactive.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is that just a side tip on this: whenever you are involved in an auto accident or any injury for that matter, please don't give them, if it's an auto accident, don't give them your health insurance information to the hospitals or to the doctors. Give them your auto insurance, because if your health insurance actually pays that bill, what happens is that later on they're going to put a lien, the health insurance company, Cigna, Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, whatever, they'll put a lien on the case, and then we have to reimburse them at the end of the settlement, and they don't like to reduce their bill because they already paid it out. So it's something to be cognizant about, because if not, later on you may get stuck with a big bill from Aetna, or from your private insurance. And then that's going to be another issue, which again will be considered a judgment or something that can affect your credit.
And that's probably something that most people don't know. Give them your auto information.
Always. If it's auto related, give them the auto information
instead
all
of your
the
health
time.
insurance.
But most people, and I'm telling you because we already have over 100 some clients, most people give them automatically
their health
insurance, because that's what they think. They go to the hospital, okay, I need to get my health insurance, and then they get that health insurance bill that they got to reimburse it because it wasn't health related, it was actually auto accident related, and then now they're running into other problems.
And they get the higher bills because the hospital don't want to reduce.
And the higher,
yeah.
Exactly, they get the higher bills. So that's something on preventative. So we're going to talk a little bit about, let's say you were not proactive at that time, right? Like you didn't know, and you're catching this video a little bit later in the game, or you didn't watch, you just didn't know. Walk me through the process, Daniel. What happens once your credit actually becomes affected?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to let's define what's a collection account. A collection account is a debt that has not been paid on time by the person. Usually, after 90 to 120 days, the creditor is gonna charge up that debt as a bad debt or a loss, and they're gonna sell it to a collection agency because they wanna get some money, you know.
Now, what happens when they sell it? So is that initial person that sold it, that company, are they out? And are you only dealing with that? Or tell me that process.
So they're gonna sell it to a collection agency. They're gonna charge it off. So first, that account in your credit report, it's gonna show up as a charge off from the original creditor.
Okay.
Then a collection account is gonna hit your credit, so it's gonna affect you twice, and from the collection company that they sold it to. And then that collection company is going to start calling you, harassing you, sending you letters, trying to collect on that debt and verify the debt.
Now, what is the repercussions? Because I know once it's sold off to a debt collection company, they're unlikely to reduce the bill because they just paid for it.
Right.
They just bought it from the other company for a lower value.
Usually they pay pennies on the dollars. The collection agency, that's how they made their money. They pay very little for the debt, but they try to collect the full amount. But that's why they offer you settlements for less, because they're still making money. But they're gonna try to collect as much money from the person as possible. So they're gonna start calling you. You're gonna start getting letters, and you definitely, if you get a letter, you definitely want. If you turn around the letter, it's gonna say, if you dispute this debt, the validity of this debt, send a letter in writing disputing the validity. So you definitely want it. That's the first thing you want to do. If you get a letter about a collection company and medical bills or anything, go ahead and dispute. Turn around the letter. It's going to tell you how to dispute the validity of the debt, and that's the first step you want to take, because then they have to provide proof to you of the debt. Sometimes the collection agency are not licensed to collect in Florida.
Oh, really?
If they're not licensed, they can't collect the debt.
Okay.
So that's one way to get around. We try to find loopholes to be able to remove stuff from the credit report. So that, the first thing you got to do, if you get a collection letter, go ahead and dispute the debt and challenge the validity of the debt.
Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of my clients, when they come in, they see anything with legal words at all, they freak out and they don't do nothing. Like, they literally put their head in the sand and they feel like the problem's going to go away. Yeah. So I hear you say that, right? And I'll do that. You may do that, for example. Most people are like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, even I can tell you my parents actually a lot of clients I've had in the past. It's probably not you, of course, but a lot of clients I've had in the past, any legal language, they're like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. So what happens if they don't want to deal with the disputing process? So
the collection agency is gonna keep calling you, keep harassing you. They can actually sue you if you ignore their attempts to collect the debt. They can actually sue you and get a judgment against you and garnish your wages. So it's serious.
And it really does happen, because I've seen it happen. It doesn't happen so much with creditors, but I have seen it happen with creditors, depending how aggressive those creditors are.
Yeah. I've had clients that usually with credit card bills, Capital One, Credit One, they want their money. They'll sue the person, take them to court, get a judgment, and if they have to, they'll garnish their wages. So don't let it go to that, and it's about being proactive. Once you have they send you a collection account, you can do two things. You can either settle the debt with the collection agency, but I would only do it. It's called a pay for delete. So pay them the debt, come to an agreement to pay some money, but with the agreement that they're gonna remove the debt from your credit report. That's the only way that I would do it, because most people don't know.
Get it in writing.
Right.
Get it
in writing. Most people don't know, but when you have a collection account and you pay it, it's still on your credit. It stays on your credit report. The only thing that changes is from unpaid to a zero balance to paid.
Of course, but it's still your credit.
It's still in your credit report. It's still affecting your credit score. So really, the best thing that you can do is, the other thing that you can do is work with a credit professional like myself or any other company. And the best thing to do with a collection account is remove it completely from the credit report. Because if you pay it, it's still going to be there affecting your credit score. So you just waste money, and your credit score is not going to change. Usually, it goes down when you pay a collection account. Your credit score is going to go down because how it works is collection accounts. The older they are, the less they affect your credit score.
Of course, and then when you pay it, it reactivates like a new account.
Right.
Exactly.
So when you, as soon as you pay it, the last activity date on the collection account is going to renew to the day you pay it.
That's almost like you don't want to answer their phones later on and rehash a new agreement.
Right.
Because now it brings that old collection account to a newer account, which it damages you. And I know more about that.
So it's going to be like a brand new collection account, and it's going to lower your credit score. So you definitely don't want to pay it unless you come into an agreement with the collection agency that they're going to delete it completely from your credit report.
Now, talking about payment, because a lot of people, you say payment, that can work if it's regular bills. If they didn't have the money before, they might not have the money now.
Right.
And sometimes one credit starts compounding upon each other, like the debt. Right. So how do you pay off your account? And this is kind of where the personal injury side comes in and the settlement side comes in. And I can give you tips on what to do with that. So whenever you have a settlement, it could be slip and fall, personal injury, whatever the case might be, the money is tax free for one, which is great. And as long as there's no liens anywhere, we don't have to pay the creditors as long as there's no liens. And it's usually like healthcare liens, child support liens, things like that. But credit liens, we can just give you the money. And also they have to put us on notice regardless. So whenever you get a settlement, it's tax free. Now, what do? Let's say you get a settlement of $10,000, but your credit bills are $30,000. So one of the things that you could do that I've seen many people do is now that you have actual cash, because cash is king. Remember,
right.
Cash is king. Now that you have actual money, you can say, hey, listen, and I would literally undercut every time. I would say, listen, I got a settlement of, let's say you got, I don't know. Let's say you said, I only got $8,000. You always want to undercut because they're always going to try to boost you up.
Right.
And you call all those creditors and be like, listen, I know I owe X amount of dollars, but I can offer you X. And as long as that company, because you said that they still sell a little bit less, as long as they're still making a profit, depending on their margin, they'll still reduce it and they'll do the pay on deletion.
Right.
Because many times, they're when the debt's going on for a long time, they're almost scared they're not going to get paid at all, and then they take a loss. Again, their business is in numbers, so some averages out and they end up making a profit. If not, they wouldn't be in business, meaning the debt collector companies.
Right.
But as far as once you get a good chunk of money, always tell them you got a little bit less, or you should tell them you got a little bit less, and then try to negotiate with them and see if they'll reduce the bills for, again, pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, but before they do that, call me, or I can try to get those medical bills removed, those collection accounts removed without you having to pay them. Because there's legal loopholes that we can
walk me through that.
We can pursue. So usually medical bills, they're medical, but HIPAA rules prevent the hospitals and the doctors from sharing your medical records with the collection agencies. So okay. Most collection agencies that are trying to collect medical bills, they don't have they can't have the hospital or the doctor can't provide the documentation to verify the debt.
I didn't know that. So
most medical bills are easier to get removed because they're not going to be able to validate the debt. So before you pay them, contact a credit professional like myself. Let's try to get them removed. If that doesn't work, then we can talk about settling the debts.
Yeah, almost like the last resort.
Right.
First try to mitigate the loss, and then of course try to settle the debt. So what you're telling me is that they all have to verify their debt. And I understand the background, but you're the professional there. Yeah. So they all have to establish that the debt actually exists. And if it doesn't exist, is it that they have to remove it? Is that what I'm hearing?
So the first thing, whenever we have a client of mine gets a collection, account in their credit report, and they come to me and they want to work with me and to remove them, the first dispute letter that I send the creditor is, this is not my account. This is not my client's account.
Sure.
Why we do that? Because they have to. The burden is on them to prove that that's their account. So if they're not able to prove that it's their account, if they don't have the medical bills, the contract that they signed, guess what? They can't validate the debt and they gotta remove it. By law, it's gotta be removed if you can't verify the debt.
Okay, so yeah, so good. So we did talk about the prevention, and now we're talking about what happens if you have it. And what Daniel is saying is if they don't validate, they must remove. And then whatever still sticks after a good faith attempt of trying to remove it,
Right.
and then with the settlement from the personal injury settlement, you could basically reduce them on, negotiate it down,
Right.
to remove it and do
And
the
we can-
payoff.
right, and
The
we
payoff
can-
for deletion.
Right, and we can help with that. But first step, let's try to get them removed without you having to pay them. There's legal ways to do that, and if they can't verify the debt, it's gotta go. They gotta, by law, they gotta remove it.
Now, clearly, when people are having money troubles, they have trouble paying for other services.
Right.
And for everybody that doesn't know, and I have a good idea, but for everybody that doesn't know, how much does the service for credit repair actually cost on average? I know it might be different for everybody else.
Yeah.
Just give me that general idea for everybody out there.
Yeah, everybody's different. Everybody charges different prices. But with my company, with myself, it's only $89 a month.
Oh, okay. It's
So
affordable.
a 99 account setup fee to begin to set up the account, pull your credit report, analyze your credit, and prepare your dispute letters, and $89 a month. So it would be the 89 and the 99 the first month, 188, and then from there on, $89 a month. Usually takes 3 to 6 months to get a client's credit score ready where they can buy a house, buy a car, whatever their goal is. But it's pretty quick because how we do it, our company, we dispute every negative account on a class credit report from the get-go with all 3 of the credit bureaus. There's other companies like Lexington Law that they go 1 or 2 accounts at a time because they want to drag out the process,
Sure.
get paid longer time. We're not, we don't do that to our clients. We want to get them resolved quick and get them, because we want to get their referrals.
Yeah,
so
of
we
course.
want to get you results the fastest possible.
Now, Daniel, and everybody on your Facebook, of course, knows who you are.
Yeah.
If you could just, if somebody had to get in contact with you, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
You can give me a call on my cell phone. My cell phone number is 813-412-9464. Again, 813-412-9464. You can find me on Facebook under Daniel Perez, the credit expert realtor. Or you can, through you
Yeah,
can
and you guys
send
can
my contact info.
comment below on either feed,
Right.
on my feed, and you connect you and vice versa, of course.
Also, if my clients, if the people on my Facebook want to get in contact with you, need an attorney, have an accident or something, how can they contact you?
Yeah, so again, it's Edward Reyes, and I'll be tagged on this post, of course. And my number's at the office is 813-421-3411. And we have we're open, well, it's 24/7. So even if we don't pick up, we have a 24-hour service that can pick up your call as well. And we are bilingual as well, fully bilingual.
Right.
And if my Facebook, my firm Facebook is facebook.com/the Reyes Firm. And so you can just like that page. And if you have any questions, of course, if auto accidents, slip and falls, or anything like injury related, or even real estate law, that's where I come in. And and I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. I'm doing this education series. Last week I had somebody talking about TMJ and injuries and how does that affect you when you have TMJ issues. And then today we have Daniel on credit, because all these things, people don't think about these problems, but one thing, it's like a domino effect. One thing affects another thing, affects another thing, and next thing you know, a simple accident could not ruin, but it could be a huge bottleneck in your life
And your finances.
and your finances. So we don't just want to help you with that. We want to help you be better as individuals, as we want to be a service to the community, and I think that's why Daniel's so graceful enough to come out and talk to us today, and I hope you guys found it a benefit. And if you have any questions, of course, feel free to comment below on either live, and send us a message, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Even if we can't help you, at least I know myself, and I'm sure Daniel will as well. We'll be more than happy to at least to point you in the right direction,
Right.
good or bad.
Yeah, we're just trying to help the community, with whatever issue they have, auto accident, we're trying to get you into a better financial situation. We know that at a time of an accident, you know, you're
Stressed.
in a time
Stressed.
of need,
Yeah,
you're
of
under
course.
stress.
Of course.
You know, you don't know what to do. Reach out to Edward. He can tell you exactly what to do. And when you go through all that, then you need some help with the finances, you can call me and we can take care of those. But there's always help out there. You know,
You just gotta know the right people.
Right. Avoiding the problem is not the solution.
No.
You just gotta talk to the professional that can, you know, help you, guide you through the process, and point, you know, and help you with take care of whatever you need to take care of.
And literally talking to us, you know, we're not going to charge you to talk to us for a consultation. I mean, you know, there might be some people out there that do. It's more community driven, because my logic is, and I'm sure Daniel's the same way, is if we help enough people, people eventually will refer more people to us,
Right.
and then eventually somebody will be a client. So
Right.
it's helping the community out to be a better community.
Yeah, you can call me anytime on my cell, 813-412-9464. I'll do, you know, I do free consultations. You can come to my office. We sit down. We just have a regular conversation. But we're here to help you, to be a resource for you, to be, you know, to help you find a solution to your situation. So if we can do that and make a difference in your time of need, you know, then we're happy.
Yeah, and again, for whomever doesn't have my number, again, it's 813-421-3411. And just call me anytime, any questions. Like I said, even if I don't have the answer, even if it's not injury related, I have a large network. I could always refer out and point you in the right direction. So
Right.
thank you. I appreciate the time today, and I look forward on we'll continue doing different series, and we'll figure out different topics here pretty soon. And you know, that way we can have Daniel come back another day. And
We're gonna have to
we can
do
tell
this
us.
weekly. I like it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks.
All right.